and those who make the mistake of harming Americans will learn that we will not forget and that our reach is long and that justice will be served.
Justice is one of the most profound concepts ever devised by mankind.
Justice is something we all value in the same way that we value fairness, but I wonder how much we understand it.
And now it's up to the American people to deliver justice at the ballot box on November 8th.
There are a number of different interpretations of the concept of justice. It is often closely associated with the idea of fairness and with individuals getting what they deserve, although what is meant by desert is also contested. One avenue is to approach justice through the idea of rights, and what individuals can legitimately expect of one another or of their government. Some theorists also argue that equality not only in the institutions and procedures of a society, but also in capabilities or well-being outcomes is required for justice to be realized. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Michael Walzer, professor at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. Mr. Walzer, nice to meet you. One question, what is justice for you?
Coming at this from a left perspective, I connect justice with equality. So legal justice means equality before the law. It means that wealth or family connection or celebrity fame doesn't bring you special treatment, which means legal justice is rare.
Thank you, Mr. Walzer. Now that you've mentioned a little bit of the legal terms, let's first understand the rule of law. The rule of law is commonly agreed to comprise the following principles, which make up the central features of an effective and fair justice system. The first one is that
no one is above the law.
In America, nobody is above the law.
That no one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law. Not you, not the Congress, and certainly not the president.
That is true. No one is above the law, especially those in positions of power. Presidents, prime ministers, and governments must all comply with the law, including human rights laws. According to the concept of the rule of law, it is literally the law that rules supreme. The next principle is the right to a fair trial. The law must be applied and interpreted fairly by independent courts and judges. The law should not be enforced arbitrarily by governments. Those accused of offenses should have the right to defend themselves in a court of law.
The right to a fair trial is a crucial element of the rule of law. Look after the rule of law, and it will look after you.
And last but not least, all are subject to the same law, applied to all citizens equally. The law is not applied inconsistently, with some allowed to escape justice and others not. The law must be consistent in its content. New laws cannot be invented arbitrarily. Now that we understand the rule of law, let's look at the different types of justice. The first one is a distributive justice, where there's fairness in what people receive, from goods to attention. This is also known as the economic justice. But inside this distributive justice, there are three different types of justices. Justice as equality, where everyone should get the same kind of amount of stuff. The need-based justice, where everyone shouldn't get the same because our needs aren't the same. And the merit-based justice, where justice actually means giving unequally based on what each person deserves.
I think you deserve more than what you've settled for.
Now, when talking about punishments, there are two other types of justice. The retributive justice, that is, the only way for justice to be satisfied is for a wrongdoer to suffer in proportion to the way he's made others suffer. And the restorative justice, that has a focus on making amends, reconcile, and restore, rather than on making the wrongdoer suffer.
Reconciliation starts here.
Now that we know more about the different types of justice, it is important to understand the different perspectives of experts on the topic. The first one is John Rawls. He believed that any inequalities that exist in a social system should favor the least well-off, because this levels the playing field of society. He believed in justice as fairness, a type of need-based justice. Another expert is Robert Nozick. He believed that, and I quote, "We can't and shouldn't try to even out the naturally uneven playing field. Yes, we have unequal amounts of stuff, but we're each entitled to the stuff we have, provided we didn't steal it or otherwise obtain it unjustly." He believed in justice as entitlement. Now that we know more about the different experts in the topic, let's connect this key concept to the different levels of analysis. What does justice look like internationally? If we look at the Human Rights Watch, they consider international justice, accountability for genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity to be essential elements of building respect for human rights. As the levels of analysis get narrower, so do the issues. Most of the times, a country's judicial system won't be talking about the same things the Human Rights Watch talks about. Depending on the laws of the country, certain things are considered to be just, certain things are considered to be unjust. And inside that country, districts might have different policies and different laws, where some things are considered just in one district, while in the other district it is considered unjust. And even inside these districts, there might be schools that have different policies, where certain types of conducts are considered to be fair, while certain types of conducts are unfair.
Will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
They are domestic workers and farm workers. They are working in factories, and they work in restaurants, and they're in academia and engineering and medicine and science. They're part of the world of tech and politics and business. There are athletes in the Olympics, and there are soldiers in the military.